I joined AIDS Action Europe first as a member of the steering committee, and I grasped the idea about the atmosphere and the aims and goals. And then I got quite inspired, and I applied for the chairing of AIDS Action Europe, and so I was approved. And it was very special time in my professional life. It was lots of energy, inspiration, and very engaged people into the topic of advocacy, and I was younger, so definitely it was more optimistic views on the goals what we set up. Yeah, I was inspired by, first of all, by atmosphere, because the atmosphere of trust is something special for me. The atmosphere of openness and the atmosphere of very high motivation to improve the quality of life of people who live with HIV, and that was very valuable for me at that moment. And I remember this very deep team meeting, team feelings what we had, and it was remarkable, really. And my work in Belarus was not easy, and I always kept this energy inside of me, the energy from our team, from our community, and it made me feeling much better in advocacy work, and it made me feeling belonging to some kind of international family. And I had this very deep feeling that we were close friends, and I think it was true, even from the perspective of here and now. When I joined AIDS Action Europe quite many years ago, so my perception was that this is a kind of a bridge between East and West in the field of advocacy work for the benefit of people living with HIV, and also in the HIV prevention field. And I felt quite isolated living in Eastern Europe with different standards for many issues related to health, and not only. And so I felt like people from the West are kind of very kind of outsiders for me, very strange. So life is easier for them and things like that. It gave me much more strength, this solidarity feeling that we all are together and we really care about what's going on in different parts of Europe. And it doesn't matter how good access to healthcare is in my country, but I really care what happens with people in other countries. So that's what admired me a lot, and that's what inspired, and that's what recharged my batteries and made me capable to believe that someday we will achieve something really good in my country. Because the biggest problem and challenge for me in advocacy work, it was that you always fight, you always demand, you are kind of criticizing and grumbling about everything what the government produce, and then you don't have the balance in this kind of work. So you can't reach the point when you're really happy, when you can get relaxed because probably on the next generation, or maybe few generations after you, can benefit from the work what you do. So that made me really frustrated of advocacy work and quite burnt out. And actually, AIDS Action Europe was the only space for me for this period of my professional activity, where I could recharge my batteries and where I could come down and come to the point when I really feel the strengths, and I really feel the importance of what of work what we do, and that even if I will not be able to benefit within my life, so there is sense and importance for the others to do this. It influenced a lot in the terms of energy and inspiration, because I always felt that my belonging, and I always felt the power of this belonging. It's a feeling that there is someone supporting you behind your back, and that was really, really important, because healthcare activism in Belarus for those years, and I guess now, takes a lot of efforts and needs a lot of inspiration and a lot of adherence to what you do. And it's, you very often want to stop and or to turn away and do something more pleasant for you, for your life, for your family. So that's why AIDS Action Europe had more, for me, a kind of recharger of my batteries. So that's the mission, or that's the output what I've got. I keep the best memories of the time we spent together, and I remember these meetings when we had a meeting in Minsk in Belarus. I hosted that meeting, and many different funny stories and a lot of joy what we shared. And I also remember other meetings in Amsterdam, in Köln, so in Milano. Yeah, it was a long story of many, many pleasant meetings. Unfortunately, a very traumatic event happened during my work and life with AIDS Action Europe. I was very much close to Martina de Scooter, and actually she was, for me, the energizer of AIDS Action Europe, and it was her initiative to start it, and she put a lot of energy into that. And we did many things together, and even our sons were friends and shared some communication. And actually, the war for me started that moment when this flight was shooted, and after that experience of losing Martina and some other colleagues who were supposed to come to the conference in Melbourne in Australia, and they didn't come. So this loss of Martina within my work with AIDS Action Europe influenced a lot on my professional life and personal also. Unfortunately, I cannot enjoy in the same way the conferences after that, because I still remember those empty chairs in Melbourne, Australia, when people couldn't come because somebody has decided to kill them. And this feeling of pain together with injustice made me leaving the field of HIV work, but I came to the other field where I still continue advocacy for those who are in vulnerable life situations and for those who uh, get these injustices every day in different forms when they cannot feel safe at home, when their homes are damaged, and many other cases of complete injustice in our surrealistic reality. And when I do it, Martina is always with me. Yeah, I'm really happy that AIDS Action Europe survived after so many different difficult moments in its life, and I'm really happy that people still enjoy being together and bringing changes for their better life conditions and access to healthcare. And I really wish all the best to all those people dedicated to the goals and missions of AIDS Action Europe. I feel that my participation in the, let's say, history of this organization, actually, I have the only wish is for AIDS Action Europe to be mature enough to cope the reality as it is and to grow and develop with dignity. I feel keeping the dignity for the next many years is the most important goal for any organization and any person. I mean professional dignity and personal dignity. And only together we can benefit from all this not the best stuff what happened to happen within this period of history when we live, and benefit for our development, for our growth. And I really believe that we still can stay as human beings, whatever happens.